talks about the symptoms that he had. He talks about how he should have called. They came and picked him up in an ambulance and took him. So when he went to the hospital, the people treated him. They were able to come outside.
You're fine.
Yeah, you are all right. You see, the survivor. And when he went home, the people were running from him. And you know, people can be afraid of people who had Ebola. But then when his family accepted him, they found out that he was all right. One thing that I've learned while being here is that we're not engaging young Liberians as best as we could. They're not retaining their information. Sometimes you tell them things and you have to tell them over and over again. And what I learned is that a lot of times we're not getting across to people in the best way that we could. And so I came up with an idea to do a comic book, which I thought is a perfect way to communicate with young people in Liberia. I grew up in Liberia collecting comic books when I was a young boy, and I was, it was sad for me to come back to Liberia and discover there are no interesting magazines or comic books for young people on the market in Liberia. So I think comic books are a great way for people to learn, not only to learn the information in the comic book, but also to practice grammar, language learning. So if someone is not able to read, they can easily follow the pictures in the comic book, and they can go back and very slowly learn the words in the comic book. In Liberia, we have a very high illiteracy rate. So this is the concept that I had. Today, I'll be taking the opportunity to hand out comic books to as many young people as I can here at the LFF program. And yeah, so that's what we're doing here today.
When whole community saw the ambulance came and take you, yes, I did. But it was the right thing to do. If I had not called for help, I would not be allowed to take you today. Yes,
Did you feel
the ambulance came from me quickly.
This is the football program for Street Child of Liberia. We're going to introduce our kids to this and have them use the stories in here to have discussions about it, because that's what we do before practices. We have discussions on social issues. Right now Ebola is the big issue here. A majority of the kids in the program are from West Point, which was a community during the Ebola crisis that was quarantined. So a lot of them have great stories to tell about what they experienced. During one of our discussions, one of our players mentioned that he had a friend that died from Ebola, one of his best friends, and he wishes to make no more friends because fear that another friend may die from Ebola. So we have to work with him to, make sure we get him to a point where he's okay with making friends again.
You know they won't get Ebola. They won't get Ebola.
They want to divide.